Welcome back to another episode of the Shoutout podcast. This episode, I'm excited to have with me one of Nagaland's finest sporting talents. He's been making news for a very long time now with stellar performances and notable achievements. And that too in a sport where Nagas are not too particularly known for. Welcome to the podcast, Nagaland cricket captain Jonathan Rongsen. It's great to have you on, bro.
Thank you so much.
We've discussed this for quite a while now, right? I think do you remember when was the first time I contacted you?
Yes.
On DM.
If I'm not mistaken, it was last year, I guess, no?
Yeah. So finally made it happen. And also I think perfect timing, like we were discussing, your NEDCL tournament is starting.
Yes.
That's
yes.
starting when? In
Maybe first week of next month.
first week of next month. So
Yeah.
that's just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
So if we didn't make this happen, then again reschedule, it'll go on. Nah?
Yes.
So perfect time, we'll discuss that, and definitely going to be getting, diving deep into sports, especially cricket, and it's going to be a real treat, I think, for sports lovers. We'll start the podcast with the shoutouts.
Okay.
So I'll do my shoutout, and then after that, you can do yours. My shoutout for this episode goes out to Dr. Tehesinyo Kedetsu, especially for her latest children's book titled Wrestling Day. Teye happens to be one of the first guests on our podcast, and she is more popularly known as Mekla Mama on social media platforms, but she is just as well known for her voice and her support for our indigenous culture. And I think this book, Wrestling Day, perfectly showcases that, along with her beautiful storytelling ability. So yes, a big shout out to Teye, Wrestling Day. Please do grab a copy for your children or niece and nephews.
My shout out goes to all the traffic police in Dimapur. It is not easy walking on those heat of Dimapur, the dusty roads, and ignoring all those pollutions. It's not an easy work and not an easy job. So heads off to you all, and thank you for your work.
Okay, thank you. Definitely not an easy work, especially in the Dimapur heat. Nah?
It is very difficult.
Yeah,
very
and also with the drivers also who always are breaking the rules, and it's not a easy task. We always start by going back to the childhood, your backstory, and I think yours is very important because a lot of what we're going to be talking about, especially cricket, it is connected to you starting at an early age and all that, right? So we will get into you shifting to Bangalore at an early age. You said around class 5?
Yeah.
Class 5, right?
Yeah.
But before that, just how was, your time here in Nagaland, or are you,
Yes,
where were you born and all that? No?
I was born in the Mokchong.
Okay.
My father, he was a professor in Clark Theological College, CTC, and we were privileged to be part of that. Yes, it's quite a memorable journey. We were 5 brothers, including me.
Okay.
And it was very difficult, I should say, childhood. Just my father's salary, we have been face all the difficulties,
right?
But maybe God grace, my father, he started his theology maybe when he was just after passed out, maybe 10th standard, I guess.
Okay.
He started his theology way, so very fortunate that he could be there to support us in whatever he could, and very thankful to him, I should say. Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful. I think support of parents is something that's so important for kids and their development. And when it's done well, I think the results speak for themselves.
Yes.
So shout out to your dad for that also. Do you remember your early years, before moving to Bangalore? Your any.
Well, before moving to Bangalore, yes.
How was your?
I remember. I was in the fourth standard, I guess.
Right.
it's just, normal 5 brothers in the house running around.
Yeah, that's a
You
lot.
know, yeah, just running around in the, in the house, playing whatever sports that, that we could play, breaking all the flower pots outside the compound. So we were very naughty, we grew up in a very rough environment, I should say, and if I think about it, I really miss those, those childhood. It just placed by God, that's it. Yeah.
That's so nice. I think when you said 5, sons in the brothers in the house is like a handful. I've got 2 sons. That also. So I'm just trying to imagine, like
Yes, yes,
like
yes.
it's crazy. Those days, how big families were also
Yes, yes.
compared to this generation, right? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Just a quick word about our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Tabernacle Technologies. Tabernacle Technologies, they're a software company based in Nagaland and they help churches manage their operations better. Tabernacle offers a complete church management and accounting software designed to make life easier for pastors, accountants, and church secretaries. From managing information on baptisms, transfers, marriages, to keeping track of income and expenses and generating reports for auditing, Tabernacle makes church administration simple, organized, and accountable. So once again, thank you Tabernacle Technologies for sponsoring this episode. If you're looking to streamline your church management and make it more efficient and better, please head on over to the app. We will provide the link in the description below. And you can even sign up for their 14-day free trial offer and take your first step towards smarter church management. So yeah, we're gonna go to your move to Bangalore. Can you just tell us about how that happened, how the circumstances of all that?
So my father, he had to go to Bangalore to finish his PhD in theology term. So we were very fortunate, to get that privilege, and our father took us, all our family, to Bangalore, and we were there for 5 years. So we moved Bangalore 98.
Okay.
98 a year. So from there, I was only in 4th standard. Then I passed out 4th standard from here, joined 5th standard in Bangalore. Then that was the whole journey of my life. Yeah.
So did you said for 5 years, but obviously you stayed on in Bangalore.
Yes.
So they moved back to.
Yeah. So after my father's PhD, he came back to Nagaland.
Okay.
And because of my cricketing career, I should say, I started my cricketing, playing for the school when I was in 7th standard. So because of my schooling career, I had to stay back there, and it was very, very tough for me.
Were you you were the only one who stayed back?
I was the only one who stayed back.
So boarding, obviously boarding school.
Yeah, it was very tough for me because I was just in 7th standard. No, I was in 8th standard. Sorry.
Okay.
And all my family came back, and I was left alone there. So it's quite difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But life goes on from there. Yeah.
But I think those things define and shape you. There's one thing, I said we'll just talk about, since both of us are also young parents, we'll talk about that also. But sending your kids to hostel, has that even crossed your mind yet? Or talked about it with your wife or anything?
We actually have a lot of discussion about it.
Yeah. What is the usual, who's for, who's against?
Actually, I wanted to put my eldest son in the army school.
Okay.
When he's in 5th standard or 6th standard, something like that. Okay. Just for a few years, just to get his routine right.
Right.
Just get the foundation strong. But end of the day, it's all in my wife's hand.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree with you on that. Yeah, but why I was asking and when you were talking about this is because I think hostel is a very big part of for boys especially, their development.
Yeah.
It's different for each. I won't say everyone's experience at hostels are the same or it's good for each child, but I think mostly it instills like this some very good characteristics, and you learn a lot of things, right? This is why I wanted to ask you also. Me also, I've been studying from a young age, like outside, right? So like, how was your experience with like, say like, was there any racism? How was the like that adjusting
Yes,
and
yes. Well, initially, when I started my schooling, I did not face. Maybe I was too small to realize.
yeah, yeah.
But I did not face such, the racism and all that. But slowly, as I grew up in Bangalore, like when I started playing, representing the state, I could see some, some partialities where the prefer their own
Right.
people and all that. Yes, I can explain to you.
Yeah, we'll get into detail about all that. Yeah.
But
So I mean,
like-
like you started sensing that, or like you could
yes.
already
So
feel
when
that.
so that's when I started playing under 19 state for Karnataka. I could I could sense
Definitely,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I had to be the best among best to be selected in
Yeah,
the team.
leave no doubt. Like
Yeah, and all that. So it's quite a fun journey here for me.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, we're already starting to talk about it. Let's get straight into like the cricket.
Yeah.
Your career. There's so many things to talk about, right? We'll touch on all the different things, but starting off, like since now you've finally come back home and you're like playing for the Nagaland cricket team as the captain, but looking at the situation here and how you were, brought up in the sense like your schooling days at hostel and when you started to play cricket. I asked you this before, but just for the audience, like how was that experience? Like, what was the valuable things that you you got there that you wouldn't have gotten if you started playing cricket here?
Well,
The main differences, or like,
yeah. It starts from the school. It starts from the school competition.
right?
Every school in mainland India, not only in Bangalore but in all part of
India.
India, the school they take pride in winning. The school tournaments in all the sports, not only cricket, but all the
Right,
sports, and that's where a sports person gets their opportunity to showcase the talent. To participate for the school also is a big thing, big
Yeah, of
achievement.
course,
And,
During those the
during
school
those,
days,
yeah.
yes, for sure.
So that is the main stepping stone for a small children, or our children who is trying to know his sports ability, trying to climb his whatever he's interested in. So that's the main stepping stone, as you say. So that's where he can get confidence, because that competition, playing against school in school, is where he'll face a lot of pressure. He'll undergo a lot of challenges in a small age.
Right.
So that's how a player develops their mentality, as well as the work ethic
For sure.
from such a small age.
Yeah.
So that's the foundation. It's laid from the school itself.
I think this is a very valid point that we're going to discuss a little later also, like when we're like one of the things that we're going to discuss is about development of sports here also in Nagaland. So we'll definitely touch on that in detail, but let's go back a little bit. Like like I said in the intro, cricket is not a sport that Nagas are known for. Obviously people play here and there, but it's not such a thing. When you went to Bangalore, was like, and when you first started playing cricket, you told me it was like gully cricket and just with friends and like that. When was it like sort of clicking that like you wanted to just try, not like maybe you weren't thinking of becoming a cricketer that time, but like taking it seriously, like playing, practicing, all this.
Yes. Once I got selected for the school team,
Sorry, what year, like class?
when I was in 600.
Okay.
That's just 1 year in Bangalore. Then by the time I was already playing road cricket with friends near the house and all that, so the interest already came. the cricketing, interest already came in me. So one day it was just, school selection was going on, and we were just happy, lucky to be near the selection, near the ground. And we're like, oh, cricket we didn't know also there was a cricket selection going on, but we saw some people playing cricket, So me and my friends, we just went to the to the ground and said, can we also bowl a bat, something like that, and they say, yeah, you try. Why don't you try it out? And we just played, the batting, bowling, all that. And then, luckily I was picked in the school team. And from that, maybe coach saw something in me and he picked me in the school team. And I was still not, very much serious about playing professional cricket at that time.
Just going with the flow.
Just going with the flow, just having fun. Just wanted to play.
Right.
And but maybe the coach saw something in me, and he every practice session that school used to have, he used to be very patient in me, guiding me with all this techniques, cricketing techniques. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to hold the bat like this, or maybe hold the ball this way. All that's the basics of cricket.
But so very important, right?
Very
the
important.
Foundation,
That foundation is very important. So that's where I learned everything from him. And luckily that we being Nagas, we adopt things very easily when it comes to sports. Maybe it's God gifted that we have in us, but we catch things very easily when it comes to sports. So that was the I learned very fast, and that's what coach saw in me. So he gave more interest in me because I learned. I was learning very fast. So that's how I slowly started playing for the school. Then I started doing well for the school, winning matches for the school.
Right.
So those maybe a couple of years, playing for the schools, I got picked for the under-16s under Karnataka state.
Yeah. So let me just stop you there and just ask you like properly, because a lot of people won't understand, or I mean, it's not like they won't understand, but they don't know how the system is, because like we were saying here, there's no actual system of systematic from grassroots level school and then into the under 16, 17s, whatever. So can you just explain how it was when you first got selected into the under? How was the process
Yes. So when we play the school tournaments, we have some 5-6 school tournaments in the year, so which almost goes towards the year. It runs because there are so many schools participating. So one tournament takes almost about 2 months to finish. So every tournament there will be selectors state. If we are playing school tournaments, that will be under 16, below 16 years. So under 16 state coaches will be coming and watching every game. So that's where they picked all the the talented boys who are doing well and who has got ability to maybe to improve, all that. So they come and watch, they do the talent hunt there, and just select the boys in the province. Maybe among 30 members in the whole Karnataka, they'll pick there, and they'll have a special camp. Then they'll select 15 from there. So that's the procedure. That's how it goes.
So this was under 16.
Under
your first
16,
selection, to represent the state, right?
Yeah.
And ever since then, you've been getting into the teams, and just take us through the how your journey has progressed from there.
After the 16th state that I represented, from there, the more exposure I got, the more better I became. So I played 16 for 2 years for Karnataka. Then I jumped to 19. But 16 to 19, it was a big gap because 16 and 19, it's we were small kids, but 19 were grown-ups.
Too big,
But then I was able to get into the 19 as soon as I finished my 16.
Okay.
Because my performance was good enough to be in 19 states, so I was picked. Then that's how every year I played 19 for Karnataka 2 years. Then I played 25, under 25. and from there, the consistent performance took me to the Karnataka Vijay Hazare. That's a white ball 50 overs format.
Right.
So I was picked in the Karnataka team. So it's a long story. I cannot describe
I know.
like
but then
detail, but
we're
so
gonna
many-
take our time. Because like I
so-
said, for sports lovers, I think me being one, like being a sports lover, and I think for those people would be very interested because I keep saying this like Nagaland, we need Nagas, we need sporting heroes. So I think this is one of the most important thing for youngsters to be inspired and get motivated and take up sports or if he can do it, maybe even I can and have that because
Yes.
with all due respect to Dr. Tio, who was a great footballer, and Chekrovolu, like these are
Yes.
so-called our only sporting icons and they are like it's way back, right? So we need like new sporting heroes, people who like youngsters can look up to, and that's why I said like I think it'd be nice to dive deep down.
Yeah.
And like you fast forwarded a little bit, you went from like 16 and then under 19,
Yeah.
then 25, but just bringing it back a little bit because I want to talk about the balance between cricket and school also. So like
Yeah.
meanwhile, obviously you're still going to school, you're playing under 16,
Yeah.
and how was that that process of like balancing both school cricket, and then you were telling me about like how you were like obviously getting scholarships
Yeah,
and all.
yeah.
Just share with us a
So-
little bit about that.
School plays a very important role, like because it's very difficult to balance, playing sports throughout the year and to manage your studies as well.
Of course.
So if what back there in Bangalore, what the school used to do was they used to give us the enough of days for us for to practice to play tournaments, and even in exams also they used to tell us what not to study, what to study. If you study this chapter from this chapter, all that, so it becomes easier for us to pass the exams.
Right.
So they'll that extent you were able to help the schools, and moreover, when I went to Bangalore, I studied in St. John's School, so that was a good school, but in sports wise, yes, we had a cricket team, but that school didn't have that much of a sports capacity,
yeah,
I should say.
yeah.
But then after playing for, after representing state under 16, I was called by St. Joseph European School, so which was among the best school in Bangalore, like which had the best teams, cricketing teams or football team or hockey team, whatever. So
You were
they
scouted basically.
Yeah, I
like,
was scouted by the school, and they gave me scholarship, the free education, and I just had to represent them and attend the classes whenever I get time. So I passed out my 10 there. Then I got call from Presidency College, again free education, then play for them, and whenever I can attend the classes whenever I get time. So till my school in college, I got scholarship till I graduated.
Yeah. That just shows how much obviously one, it shows like how good you were, that people or institutions are looking at talent. And like we were just talking about this earlier, some schools get their reputation from academics, some get it from music, some get it from sports.
Yes.
Their accolades, right? They're known for this, they're known for that.
Yes.
So like for that school who must have said like it's worth it to provide free tuition education for this guy if he represents our makes our college or school look good by performing well, right? I want to know at what point, because this is like that time of students right about that time where they're deciding what they like should I like become a doctor or like take science or this and that, and that's one thing. Like what was going through your mind? Was it like for sure I'm going only cricket? That's one. And also second, what was the family talk like,
Yes.
and how, just share with us a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
So actually, I wanted to be a become a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
But maybe I changed my mind went towards cricket when I represented under 19 state.
Okay.
And I started doing well for the state. I got selected for the NCA as well, National Academy. That's where I thought maybe there's a scope in my cricketing career. And I spoke to my father as well.
How was that conversation like?
So my father was a bit reluctant. I mean, if this didn't click, then you won't have any other things to do.
Plan B.
No plan B and all that. But then of course I worked very hard in my cricketing thing, and my name started to come in newspapers, playing for the state. He was reading all that articles. Then he also slowly realized that yes, I think so. He's got talent in this cricket, and maybe he can make it. And I got a full green signal from his side as well. From my family.
Yeah. What was like? Which time was that? When you're in college or?
19.
Okay.
I was around 17. Around 17 years.
That's like early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s, 17 or so.
So you got the full green light, full approval from him and the family.
Yeah, yes. So he said, if this is what you, then you can.
And that's such a nice thing to hear, because I think I've said this a couple of times, but like it's very important, the role of the parents, not just in upbringing, like taking care of the kids, providing for them, and all this, but support, especially when it comes to the things that they're not used to.
Yes.
Anything that's different, obviously it's natural reaction to be like, I'm not sure like what will happen if my son doesn't, it doesn't click for him like this and that. So it's totally understandable for them to be very wary and
absolutely
hesitant,
absolutely.
right? So like, that's so nice that your family has your back like that. Because even if you're doing so well, like the same, like you're coming out in the papers because of your performances and all, but if they wanted to stop your career, like you have to become doctor or something, your career was going to end, right?
But the main thing is, I feel it's up to us to show our talent to our parents. Right. Even a lot of even in Nagaland, a lot of our youngsters, they have a lot of talents in all different different
sports,
not sports, in all different activities, whatever it is. They have a lot of talents, but they are not able to show the talent to the parents, to convince the parents to pursue the towards
to believe in them, basically.
To believe in them, So that's up to them how they can show the talent to their parents. Maybe work harder and try to earn something from there, or get some name from there, all that.
I want to ask you about like the level of competition, because I told you this, like when I was in Chennai for a year, like Nagas or Northeast boys, we would get in every school team. Football, but like cricket was like out of the question.
Yes.
Cricket belonged to we couldn't touch, like even by mistake wouldn't get in. But there was one Naga who was in the school team. But besides that, you can't just get in the team because the level was so high.
Yes.
And obviously, we know cricket in India is like the sport where a billion kids are dreaming to be.
Yeah.
So, what was the level of competition like for you, especially at that era? Like when you said like before you got into the National Cricket Academy.
So the school matches and the state matches, they were almost equal.
Okay.
That was kind of the level that
the schools were in also.
Very high. Very, very high, because even in school selection, you'll see hundreds of students coming and trying to represent the school. And the state players and school players, sometimes if state teams and school teams, if they play also, sometimes state teams also lose. That good levels are. So, and in cricket, given any day, anyone can win. Any team can win. So the levels are very, very high. It's very, very high, very competitive. And even in the school matches, whenever we play school tournaments, the whole school will come and support.
It was like a big thing, right?
A big thing.
Yeah.
The whole school will come and support a game. Even the other school also, the whole school will come. So every game they come and support each schools. So the competition is that high. So it's fun. It is fun. Yeah.
So what about like you said, right? The cricket academy, the national academy. Sorry, when you said around 17,
Yeah.
you got selected for that, because now that is on like a national level, right?
Yes. Yes.
So how was that experience, and like, BCCI,
Yes.
your first encounter
Yes,
sort
yes.
of with BCCI?
Yeah,
also?
that is like I said, that is where I decided that I have I can
you have a chance.
you have a
right?
chance
Yeah.
in. So I was 17 and I got picked for the National Academy in CA, it's called.
It's in Mumbai, or
It was in Bangalore only.
Okay,
It's still
okay.
in Bangalore.
Okay.
The main training center BCC has.
okay.
So our batch were like, we had Shikhar Dhawan, Suresh Raina, Robin Uttapa. We had Virat Kohli. He was 2 years junior than me. Virat Kohli was there. Rohit Sharma was there. So it was a good bunch of.
And how was that? Like, I mean, obviously, they've gone on to become like the
Yes,
biggest stars
yes,
now.
yes.
But like, how was it then? Like, if you recall, like, their talent that time, and like, how. If
No,
you
in
just-
that level though, everyone is all talented. They all knows how to play good cricket. I mean, good level of cricket. And even Jadeja also was there, Ravindra Jadeja. So we never thought, who can think that he'll become that big a player,
Yeah, yeah.
in
Like
future,
star players for
star
India,
players for
yeah.
India. They were, all are good. Like each and everyone that comes in the camp, like they pick around 20 to 25 players, I guess,
Okay.
from all over India. So everyone is extraordinarily good. They were really good.
That's like a huge accomplishment, actually. Like, because I didn't know about like how this academy was, the selection process or whatever it is. But if it's just you're getting selected into a group of just 25 to 30 all across India, and then the names that you're mentioning are like ones that have been like, that's a big deal. I wanted to ask, like, from that time, did you see in any of these, the ones that you mentioned, the big names and all, was there anyone who was like from there, like at that moment you knew like he was going to be like.
No, in my eyes, Suresh Raina was when under 19, when I was playing, like, when we used to play against him, or we knew that he will play India. That
Okay,
if
okay.
Suresh Raina was that talented,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
he
Like,
was
who was?
like, oh, this guy will surely play for India. That kind of talent he had, and the mindset. And even the Ravindra Jadeja also. Actually, we were in two camps. CCI also in Mumbai. There's one camp called CCI.
Okay, what's that? Cricket?
So Cricket Club of India.
Okay.
So there, Ravindra Jadeja, we were also together. There also, I knew that he was
Special, like,
special.
yeah.
He had good all-round ability in him. Got gifted body, very fit, very agile.
Yeah, solid fielding.
Yeah. So
So how then, like take us, we're gonna now fast forward a little bit, because earlier you already talked about how you started playing for Karnataka for the what tournament was that? Vijay Hazare. No.
Vijay Hazare.
Right,
Yeah.
right, the white ball 50 over tournament.
Yeah.
So now you're representing state. That's like a
Yeah.
huge deal.
Yes.
Under 17, under 19, I mean under 16, under 19. That's also a big deal. But to represent the state, no less one of the major cricketing, states. How was that first experience of being a state player, like a proper state men's senior, whatever you want to call it? Yeah.
That was a dream come true for me. To be picked for a state like Karnataka, who has 7 or 8 India players playing in that team. It's like for me a dream come true. I couldn't think of more than being part of the team.
Right.
Vijay Hazare was captain by Rahul Dravid when I was there.
Okay. What year was this? Sorry.
If I'm not mistaken, 2016 or 17, I guess. 15 or 16, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
So he was in Australia when we played the league matches, Vijay Hazare. Then we qualified for the knockouts.
Knockouts. Yeah.
So semi-finals. Semi-finals, we had 1 week break. So he had come from Australia tour. Then straight away he took the captaincy. And I was very privileged.
Starstruck also, I'm sure.
Sure, of course. And he was also from our same school, Saint Joseph.
Oh, okay.
So, I straight away told him that I'm also from Saint Joseph. Same school.
That's
nice. Yeah.
I think just off topic, but like Rahul Dravid, I think is one of the best sporting role models.
He was my. I always look up to him.
Yeah.
He was my role model because, like I said, we were in the same team. But even I like to when we have this team bus waiting for us from the hotel to go for the game. I like to go early and sit in the bus. So I used to be one of the earliest to go sit. But when I went, he was already sitting. And wearing only the state logos, the state shirt, state cap, everything.
Yes.
Some players, when they play India, they wear their India jersey, all that. But he's such a guy that, after being a so big player, but still wear those state logos, everything stayed in. First to be in the bus.
Yeah, and also just like as a person also, I think, besides his cricketing ability and all that, I think he's someone that is like one of those, him, Sachin and all, those kind of sporting people off the field are like super like good role models for young sports persons.
Absolutely, they have been very well brought up, I should say.
And so, how was your performance there, the Vijay Hazare?
It was good. Played 4 games in the first year. I scored 250s, back-to-back 250s. Then because all the other players were Indian players, like Robin Uthappa had already played India by the time, and Manish Pandey was there.
Okay.
Vinay Kumar, and Mithun, fast bowler. So most of them are IPL players or Indian players. So I was the only cricketer who hasn't represented. that kind of level. That level. I was like still junior, and KL Rahul was there, but KL was not playing that time. He was in the substitute. Then Rahul Dravid came. Then I had to. Give a chance. As a, So, and for the knockouts I sat out, and me and Kelra, we were like giving orders.
But you have to do what you have to do, right? Everything for the team.
It starts. That's how the cricketing starts. When you're junior, if you do well also.
Know your role, right?
If your senior comes in, you have to know your role.
I think that's important. Some people will not be able to handle that too easily. Like, they'll think they're the star coming from like being the local school hero, like,
best
player in your team, and then you're suddenly asked to sit on the side, bring the water.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. So post Vijay Hazare, tell us like how your career progressed, like, where you went on.
So from there onwards, since we played till semi-final the game, and because of that, I got job in railways, Indian Railways.
Yes, you told me.
Because we have a norms in Indian Railways that a player has to represent PCCA tournament, semi-final or final.
Okay.
That's where, if you represent semi-final or final, then you'll get a job in Indian Railways. So that was the norms I got, From there onwards, I got picked for the Indian Railways. So I was almost about 25, 26 years old that time, and I needed a job for my, daily.
Of course,
And Bangalore was quite expensive for me to, stay alone in the rent,
support yourself,
all that. So I needed a job. So at the right time, the Indian Railways came calling. That,
So that was part and parcel. Like you play for them, you get a job, kind of, or how was it?
Yeah. It's like that.
And what was the job?
First, I have to be employed. Then only I can.
Okay.
Like
So what was the job that you had?
I got in as a clerk.
Okay.
In Indian
So
Railways.
like you said, the minimum requirement was that semi-final or better
Yes.
and any BCCI tournament.
Yes.
Okay. So you were playing for Railways. What tournaments were you playing? Share with us like how your.
So Railways, I of course, we have this Indian Railways all over India, all the Indian Railways tournaments we have. But the main was Indian Railways has a Ranji Trophy team.
Yes, yes.
So that's where I represented my first Ranji Trophy match in the Farm Railways. Since Karnataka was very difficult for me to crack in because of all the
Big stars.
big stars are playing, and it was very difficult for me to go inside, to crack the team. So, and being a cricketer, playing Ranji Trophy is a dream. It's
the tournament,
it's
right?
the
In
tournament for
India,
you.
yeah, domestic.
So, having considered all that, I joined the Indian Railways so that I'll get an opportunity from there to play the Ranji Trophy, and yeah, from there on
Yeah, and for people who are not aware, like, Ranji Trophy is actually the way to make it into the national team, right? Like with good performances there, scouts are looking, selectors and all that. So that is the actual path.
Yes.
So you chose that to have a shot at that.
Yes.
And how was Ranji Trophy career? You're, playing with, obviously now with Nagaland team, but like that time with Railways.
It was good. I had a very good experience over there. Tough experience. My captain was Muli Kartik.
Ah, Murli Kartik.
Now he's a commentary. He's
Yeah, with
all
the choker always.
left. And Sanjay Bangar. We had some superstars also in the team.
Okay.
It was a good journey. It's actually quite difficult, but because
sorry.
Railways, I was working in Bangalore, but I had to go to Delhi.
Okay. For matches or?
No, for the camp,
okay.
all that, because the center is there, no? So, 5-6 months I was always in Delhi for my past 10 years of my Indian Railways.
That career, it's part of your job and your career. So how would you rate yourself? Like, how well were you sort of competing with not just other opponents and all, but even within your team? Like you said, there were some stars who were played for India, Murli Kartik, Sanjay Bangar and all. But how would you, like, how did you feel? Like, were you able to keep up? Like, you thought like, I'm competing, or their standard is too high? Like, how was your thinking?
Initially, coming from Karnataka, being represented Karnataka team in the Vijay Hazare and Syed Mushtaq, that is T20 and 50 overs format.
SMET.
So they already knew my ability in cricket in Indian Railways. So me finding a place there was, in cricketing terms, it was not that difficult. But facilities wise, the dormitory that we have to stay in, it was that part was quite difficult. But when it comes to cricket, it was not so difficult, because the very first year when I played for Indian Railways in the white ball tournament, Vijay Hazare, I was picked for Dilip Trophy.
Okay.
That is from the Central Zone.
Okay.
That is
the
the next
trophy.
level.
Yes.
Next level of from the first class to next. The zone again comes to zone.
Right.
So cricketing wise, it was good. I was able to manage it well. Yeah.
And meanwhile, IPL is blowing up.
Yeah.
Like, it's becoming this mega thing and all. Had you any opportunities come your way?
Yeah, of course. RCB, I was always in the first 30.
Okay.
30 squad in RCB.
Yeah, tell us how it works actually. Like, first 30 is the.
Yeah, 30 is the. From there, they'll pick 15.
Okay.
From 15, whoever get injured or something, again from there, that's
okay.
If bowler gets injured, bowler will go in.
Right.
Batsman, all that.
So it's a 15 player squad, IPL.
Yeah.
15, I mean, like 30 is the whole thing, but like
15 will be in the
roster.
in the Takot, no?
Yeah.
So that was there, but that's a lot of competition.
That's high level. I mean, we're talking about all international.
Yeah, and T20 is a different. It's not like it's a different format, and it was a good opportunity. I got some good exposures also playing
with RCB, being in that third.
Yeah, being that.
And I want to ask you, like, for those that don't know too much about cricket, there's basically 3 formats, right? 2020 ODIs and Test match.
Yes.
Which would you say your skills or your style is suited best for?
Well,
which format?
as a cricketer, everyone wants to be a test match player. If but nowadays, the fans and the followers, they're more into T20.
Yeah, too fast. The fast pace. They
Yeah,
want
fast. You just do not have time to watch
Yeah,
test
yeah.
match 5 days.
It's nothing like test matches.
Yeah, but for me, I prefer red ball, being a test match, and I will have more pride in representing India A red ball, instead of representing IPL.
T20 playing
instead of playing franchises cricket.
That's how much it means to, I'm sure, most of the cricketers also.
Yes.
IPL is there for spectators also. It's like
Yes.
that fast-paced, high action, like thing. But I think real cricketing fans still do appreciate test matches.
Absolutely. You
It's
know
like-
how difficult it is to play the test.
Yeah,
That's why
it's called test. Exactly.
Yes.
That's why it's
Yes.
the ultimate
Yes.
format of cricket. I'm missing out KPL, Karnataka Premier League, because
Yes.
where did that come in? When you were part of Railways, after Railways?
No,
Before?
that was before Railways.
Before Railways, okay.
2008.
Okay.
8
So
or
that
9.
that was
that's
way back.
back.
Okay.
2008 or 9. That's where actually, of course, there's politics everywhere.
Yeah.
That was the main platform where I was picked for Karnataka white ball. That's where,
Okay, from your performance at KPL, was your selection into the
into the
Okay,
white
okay,
ball
okay.
men.
Right,
That
right,
was
right.
because my performance was seen by everyone in the TV.
Yeah. I watched some matches also.
So
I still
that's
remember.
where they couldn't deny my
Right.
my performance, and people came to know, this guy is good enough to be in the side. And
Not just good enough to be in the side, you're putting up those kind
yes,
of
yes,
performance,
yes,
especially
yes,
with your batting.
Yes. So if not mistaken, till I was there, I was the second highest run getter.
Yeah.
First was Maya Agarwal.
I mean, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, being a middle order batsman.
Yeah.
That's in T20 we hardly get any balls. Yeah.
And also, yeah, exactly. Hardly any time, just 20 overs, right? Middle order to again, even less. How is the level of competition KPL?
It's very high.
Obviously, they won't be like the too many big names compared to IPL and all, but it's still a very high level of.
Karnataka has 30-40 bunch of players who was already represented India.
Yeah.
Already in IPL.
In and out.
Yes. So the level is yes, IPL India player and a Ranji Trophy player, the level is the same.
Yeah.
It's just their mindset.
Yeah, and also politics also. Part of it
But
is also
mindset.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have to play that level India, that everyone has got same amount of talent. So whoever the mindset, whoever stronger, they play at a higher level.
Yeah.
It's just a mind difference. Yeah.
I think that's a very valid point. Mindset, like one of my I'm I love sports. I love all sports. Total sports junkie, but like basketball is my thing. And so one of my favorite players, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant,
Yes.
known for his Mamba mentality. Now it's become such a popular thing, but like that was really something. Like his mentality of he has to work harder than everyone else, even though he's much more talented than this person. He has to work harder than him. He has to be in the gym earlier than him. He has to practice for more hours than him, and that kind of thing is so important for a sports person, I think, right? The competitive mindset.
Yes, absolutely. And he gets his confidence because he follows the routine. Yeah, being a professional sports, he goes to the gym early, does the routine, everything. That's how he gets his confidence. His to give his best in that match, whatever match he's preparing for, or the tournament. So every sportsman has their own different way of preparation.
Right.
Like that's his way, and some other sports person, maybe he'll go last to the gym, but he'll do his thing. Maybe he'll get up late. He'll go last to the gym. He'll do whatever suits him, suits his body. So it's all different.
Everyone is individual.
Yeah, everyone's got different rules.
Yeah. We'll just come to now, slowly you return back home, like the prodigal son. You came back to Nagaland which year?
I came 2019.
Okay.
2019.
I want to I want to let you share with the audience like what was the thought process behind this, because you're having like a good job there, like with railways.
Yes.
Cricketing career wise also,
Yes.
you're playing well, you're getting opportunities there, and cricket here in Nagaland is a totally different story.
Yes.
So walk us through the many reasons you must have thought about
Yes,
a lot
absolutely.
and all that, you know. This episode is brought to you by Tabernacle.
Initially, when I came, I was still working in Indian Railways. I
Okay.
used to take leave in come and play. But before I decided to come, me being from Nagaland, dedicated my whole life to cricket, and not playing for your state, for Nagaland, it's something which it's incomplete, I should say, as a
Incomplete,
sports
yeah.
person, if you don't represent your own motherland.
Yeah.
And once we got this approval from PCCI that all the northeastern teams can play at this Ranji Trophy, this level of cricket. That's where I was happy that happened. But then again, the state association also said, come and play, come and represent us.
There was a request from them.
Yes, absolutely. They
Okay.
also called me and said, come and play. We need to form a good team, so that we can have at least compete to the other states. So yes, that having all that the options, even the clarity from the association as well.
Right.
I could make my decision. But I used to take leave for 4-5 months and come and play and go back to Bangalore. But what happened was 2-3 years I could able to manage it that way.
Adjust
But
and-
after that, the Indian Railways, they weren't able to willing to give me leaves because I was taking too much
Too
leaves.
much. Yeah,
and-
of course, like 4 or 5 months.
Yes,
is-
yes. And cricket demands so many days, so many
Yes.
months of tournaments.
Yes.
So I couldn't able to juggle the the work and cricket in the same time because even it was too far for me to manage.
I'm sorry, what year was this when you first came and you were still part of Railways, but you came back to
2019.
Nagaland? 2019,
Yeah,
right?
2019.
Okay. And which year was it when you decided to fully invest back home and
Yeah.
leave your job there?
2020, 21 middle, where I gave my voluntary retirement. Yeah.
Okay, from Railways, right?
Yeah.
Were there any other reasons also involved about you wanting to settle down? or
Of
what?
course, I was lucky that maybe it's all God plan. I met my wife also when I came.
After you came back?
After I came back to Nagaland, and yeah, this all maybe
Master plan. There's a master plan. You have to trust his
Yeah.
plan. Yeah, I think that's the best plan. So, you come back to Nagaland. I'm sure there'll be like a big, drastic difference from playing level, the competition level, then also the facilities,
Yes.
and so many things, right? Like being at
Yes, yes.
you're playing with the top, and at that level, and then you're coming back home. How was your adjustment, to this?
Initially, it was very surprising, to say, because not disrespecting anyone, but we don't have any cricketing culture, I should say.
Yeah,
out here
yeah, for sure.
Initially, it was again 2019, 2020 was very raw. Even in our NCL also, Nagaland Cricket Association also, it was just starting. So we had to manage for everything. This also not up to the mark. This was not up to the mark. But then, by the as a year went by slowly, it's right now it's like top now.
Yeah,
Stop.
I think it's clear to say that like there's been much improvements when it comes to cricket in Nagaland. Association, from the association side, from the level of play, I think I've seen like at least moving in the right direction,
yes,
right?
Yes.
When something, honestly, I just want to ask you, because like when you come back home to this level and when you're there and you have the opportunity to play there, do you sort of feel like that window is gone where like you can make that big break because you've come back here, not to demean our level of cricket and all, but just being realistic, right?
No, see, the thing is, when I came back, I was already around 31 or 32.
Okay.
And back there, if you have to make it, you have to make it from 19 to start representing.
Like the biggest level, national.
Biggest level,
Yeah.
biggest level. That's where you get into the cream of the, that's where you can represent India.
Exactly.
Let
That's
me
what.
just put in a simple way. So, for me, 31, 32 is where, yes, I was still playing the competitive cricket there, but that's where, I thought, look, if I'm playing the same Ranji Trophy here. If I go back also, I'll be the same, but the more advantage is I can, teach my own boys. I can show him that this is how we play. This is the road. If you go in this direction, then we can play India. I can share my experience.
Right.
There are so many options. So having all that, I know, like any now decision. Finally, I was
made the
happy to.
call,
Yeah, I
yeah.
made a call. Happy to come.
Okay, so like your overall experience, you've been in Nagaland for the past 5 years representing,
Yeah.
captaining our cricket team. How would you describe your experience? Like you said, you enjoy getting to train and or guide, be a mentor to the younger kids and all. But how would you say the potential is for Nagaland cricket? First, let's start with that.
To be very
Honestly,
frank,
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
very honest, we still have 6-7 years to catch the mainline players. We still, I don't say we lack in talent, but we lack in mentality.
That's not such a long time, 6-7 years if you actually think about it.
Absolutely, it's a long time, but cricket is a difficult sport. It takes time to adopt a certain technical. No, we play. Even in practice, we have bowlers are bowling at 120, 125 kilometers per hour, and when we go out, we're facing 145.
Yeah.
So what's the massive difference?
Yeah.
And we don't get that kind of bowlers in Nagaland right now. Yes, of course, the pitch doesn't help in Nagaland. It's only spinner track. We don't have the pitch that supports fast bowlers at all.
Like
But-
most subcontinent tracks, but anyway. No?
Yeah. But I can say we still have 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
And
With the proper people behind the scenes,
Yes,
also
absolutely.
proper coaches
Yes,
continuing the same trend,
yes,
right?
yes.
Right now, because we're playing the Ranji Trophy. Nagaland is doing pretty well for our level, but amongst the other, like besides NEDCL is coming,
Yeah.
which is the Northeast Trophy
Yeah.
for the people who don't know. That is all Northeast states except Assam and Tripura.
Yeah.
So in that level, where would you, how would you rank the teams? Not just on who won last year or that, but just like first, second,
No,
third, fourth.
We've been last 2 years, Nagaland has been a champion. So among Northeast, Nagaland will be the number one.
And when we say Northeast again, no Assam and Tripura.
Assam,
But from
Nagaland will be the number one.
Okay.
And then comes Meghalaya. Meghalaya, then Manipur, Sikkim, Mizoram, and Arunachal.
Okay.
That will be my lineup
If you had to.
if I have to.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, 6 to 7 years. No, what I was saying is, it's not that long, 6 to 7 years, if you think about it.
Yes.
Not to say that automatically after 6-7 years we'll see Naga boys in the Indian team, but
To compete.
yeah, to compete
Proper,
at least
have a good fight.
and play at progress further in Ranji Trophy
Yes,
also,
yes,
not
yes,
get knocked out in the
yes,
early stages
yes.
like that, right? Along your journey of playing in the Ranji Trophy, you also got this very unique opportunity and I think one of a very big achievement to go play abroad also. Why don't you tell your story about that?
Well, it is because of my Ranji Trophy performance only. All the agents, UK county agents, they keep looking at the chart, like your performance and all that. So I was fortunate that one agent called me and said, your performance has been quite good. So we'd like to have you over. I will speak to some team, and we'll fix you with a club.
Which year was this?
This 3 years back. 4 years back. Sorry.
21.
So
2020 to 2021 season.
Yeah, 21, I guess, 21.
Yeah.
20,
Okay.
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
21. So I was fortunate enough to a club came calling, like Morecambe.
Yeah.
Morecambe Cricket Club. They came calling. So just first time also, first time I experienced. I don't know how the condition is. How the cricket, different like matches. What kind of players are there, or what kind of challenges that I have to face. All that I didn't know anything. I just went with my wife. Both of us, we just went just to experience. We'll see what happens. All that. But thankfully, the experience has been really good. I performed quite well.
Yeah, I was following your progress.
So thank you.
I mean, very good performances. Not just.
So
Yeah.
then a bigger club after that. I got a call from the bigger club.
The following season.
Following season.
Yeah.
So
that was Kendall.
that was Kendall.
Yeah.
So then, happily I signed the contract, and then 2 years I played for them, and yeah.
I want to ask you one thing. I mean, a few things, but one is like, do you have someone representing you for all this, or how does?
No, I don't have anyone. I
So
just
directly deal with you?
directly.
Their agents.
Their agents. They'll hunt for players for them.
Yeah.
And that's how they'll get the players for them.
Yeah,
So
because a lot of people will be curious, like, how does that work?
yeah. So
Especially when it comes to sporting people,
Yeah,
they have their
yes,
agent and
yes,
this and
yes.
that. Yeah.
So I know now, since I played, I already been 3 years playing there. I know people, I know clubs. So they keep asking me also, if you have any talented players from Nagaland, let us know also in the futures to send them all that. So I through me I got through my very good friend Emily Wati, was a
Fast bowler, right?
left-arm spinner.
Oh, spinner.
Left-arm spinner. He's currently in our playing
Okay.
team now.
I'm mistaken.
Left-arm spinner, yeah. So I spoke to the agent, the same agent. Then he also been for 2 years, which which is a good thing because we don't have much cricket happening in Nagaland, and off season we don't have hardly any tournaments. So the more players goes out and play for us,
More exposure.
and the more experience we'll get, and the better for our state. Our level of standard will go higher. So that is the aim. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I keep telling the youngsters also, like, try to keep performing well.
At
In
Ranji
the
Trophy
future,
level,
we can always send you where
I
we
mean,
were kind of call
I think that's going to tie into something which we're going to talk about a little later. But why did you stop after 3 years at England?
Well, I had we had our first son. So it's quite difficult to
Obviously.
travel with a baby and
Newborn, yeah.
newborn, new place. It's difficult to traveling wise, and me away playing, and my wife being alone in the
Yeah.
house, and also very difficult. So we have after so many discussion, we had to
That
take a break.
sacrifice.
Yeah,
But like
take a
when we were talking that day, that is definitely on the cards again to,
Yes, absolutely, yeah. When
if given the opportunity, you're going back again.
After my son and daughter become a bit,
Yeah.
able to manage by themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be having a second daughter. Yeah.
I was going to ask this at the end, but since it's going to relate to something I'm going to ask. How long are you preparing to play for? Like honestly, like this is a question I'm sure you ask yourself, and
Yes,
you
absolutely.
so assess yourself health wise, also your capability wise,
Yes,
also.
yes.
So how long are you looking at, like your cricketing career to last for?
Though being a professional cricketer, I put all my effort in, my hard work, everything, all my dedication, time, all that I put. So I don't have any. Thankfully, I don't have any injury as such that I cannot continue playing.
Right.
I'm fit as like all the other players in the team. I don't have such aim that I'll play this much or this much. I don't have such thing, because tomorrow, who knows? Tomorrow I may fall down and break my leg.
But touch wood.
Yeah, that's what.
But barring all injuries, I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is
So
there
I
like
don't
a
have any,
thing? Even then, you don't have like a
still now I
timeline.
don't have any timeline.
Okay.
All that. Still loving the competition. Still willing to perform for the state. trying to win as much as possible for the state. So I don't have such still.
I think we're going to get into like your training regimen, your workout, your diet, and all that briefly. But just touching on that because you're now 39,
Yes.
and back, say like a decade or so, maybe I would say like a decade ago, sports, whether it's basketball, football, cricket, anything, people at 40 is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
That time, even the late 30s, it was like,
Yes.
you know, like besides one or two exceptions. But now you see like, you know, sports persons in all different, whether it's cricket, basketball, football, longevity,
Yes, yes.
maintaining their health.
Yes.
And it comes with good technology also, new,
yes.
you know, learning, having new knowledge about medicine. And
Absolutely.
so I think, you know, like we said, touch wood, no major injuries, nothing like that, then you have a long way to go.
Yes, it's like you said very rightly that nowadays we have latest way of training. Like my training will be different according to my body. Your training will be different according to your body. So
Right.
now all the trainers, you know, their students, you know all the players' body. So according to that only they will train
they
you.
will,
So
yeah.
that's where the players' longevity increases, and of course eating habit is very important.
Yeah, so let's get into that because I think for the longest time in Nagaland, one thing I say why our Naga sports persons don't reach the next level, so many reasons, but one thing is discipline. And discipline in the sense of your work ethics,
Yes.
your diet, your workout regimen, or whatever it is, but discipline basically,
Yes.
right? So having this new era of sports where like everyone is like now like routine based. They have like take us through your routine. Now it's the off season, right?
Yeah.
How is the routine off season? How are you keeping fit?
Yeah.
And then also during when it's like full season time,
Yeah.
how does
So
process go?
we had a 5 months of season just, and it finished 2 months back.
Yeah.
So it was a very long season, and as important as you work out, but even the recovery also is very important. If you don't have enough time to recover your body from a long tournament, and if you again after just say 1 week, after 1 week if you start training again, your muscle is not getting enough rest. So the recovery, the eating, whatever what all needs you have to eat to recover your muscle. That also is very important. Everything has been shown to us by our
The experts,
dietitian.
yeah.
Everything is there, so we follow that, and the rest is important. Then during rest, the eating is important. After that, it's been almost 1 month though that I've been completely rested. Now again the
NEDCL.
NEDCL is starting, so I'll be starting my again workout next week. I start my again the started.
How would you rate yourself like when it comes to discipline? Like diet means diet. My sleep time, I have to sleep this time, wake up this time. How would you rate yourself as a
Yeah. So diet, I can't follow as strict as possible diet, like because I can't resist our Naga, delicious foods. But my sleeping timing, I sleep 7:30, 8 p.m. Wake up at 5. So I have a very good sleeping habit.
Okay.
And yeah.
And your like workout regime, like are you strict with that? Like when you have to, whether it's gym, whether it's other like
Yeah, I during the tournament, I don't do much gym because I don't want to put extra load in my body.
Yeah.
And again, during the matches, again I have to use the same muscle, everything. So I don't want to extra tired my muscle. But during the off season, I strain my the muscles and whatever it's lacking in me. I strain. I keep collecting it, and during the tournaments I release everything. Then again after a tournament,
Rest
again
and
I collect. So that's how it happens for me. Yeah.
Okay. We're just going to touch a little bit about sports in Nagaland because I said this way in the beginning. Like you being in the field of cricket, you can speak from that perspective.
Yes.
And now that you've been here for like 5 years running or more, You've seen the picture also, I think, to a
Yes,
large
yes.
extent, right? How do you first how do you feel about sports development in Nagaland?
Well, if I say today, I feel the government is doing quite a lot to uplift the sports, especially last year the Olympics came. I could see a lot of the facilities provided, and all that. So many things are coming up. So well done to the our leaders like Abu Mita. They've been very active. Contacting so many different sports, different tournaments or the facilities for all the.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think so. Yeah, it's not going to be one shot. It's not going to be like at them.
Overnight it's not
Overnight it's
happening.
not going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
But slowly, that's how it starts. Something So and starting, which is takes slow. That's that goes more higher. Then just immediately start higher. With Zoom and.
I have this opinion about like our because I think I just told you this earlier. We're this moment of time in Nagaland sports where we're in quite a good position, and we can either go in a very good direction or go
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
where we were like
Yeah.
10 years ago. So it's a very crucial time.
Yeah,
And whoever the people are that are involved behind the scenes actively or just like that, it's a lot of responsibility lies on
Yes,
them.
absolutely.
And because like you said, 6-7 years for cricket, for some other sports it might be longer or
Yeah,
shorter also,
yeah.
but you have to be ready to
Yeah.
lay the foundations
Yes,
now.
yes.
It's so sad to say that Nagaland we're laying the foundations now when other states or countries are already, but we have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, we have to start somewhere
Yeah.
and better late than.
Exactly.
So, but I think so. Do you know it? Do you know exactly what you're doing? The taking step by step. I feel they're thinking over it. Do you know exactly when to start or how to start, and slowly they're starting, which is good. I feel because if you start slowly, then you have time to think over what can be done, what not can be done, and all that. So I feel it's good. I feel it'll be good in 5-6 years. We'll have good result coming up, I guess.
And you're talking specifically from cricket point of view, right?
Cricket point of view,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So okay, just going back again, the cricket calendar in Nagaland. What are the main things that go on? Like, can you just break down the calendar year of
Calendar wise,
like season? You said ends.
so before the
Yeah.
season, let me say before the
Okay,
season,
okay.
and I'll
Yeah,
finish
okay,
with
yeah.
the season. So we have inter club, inter district.
Inter-district, right.
Inter club is no more, I guess, because inter district, and from inter district we have
NEDC.
NEDC,
Yeah.
NEDC, and from their season.
Season
Yeah,
starts.
that's about it.
And the season means we're talking Ranji Trophy only.
Ranji Trophy only,
Yeah.
Vijay Hazare,
Vijay Hazare.
all that PCCI tournament. That's
And so that's pretty packed.
pretty packed.
Or
Yeah,
how would you say,
that's-
like, or do you think there can be more activity in between? Or
Of course, they can be taking more activities. Cricket has to be played towards the year.
throughout the year, right?
It's because it's a hand and eye coordination game. So if you
Lose
don't-
touch,
if
yeah,
you lose
yeah,
touch,
yes.
it's difficult to get.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with hand and eye coordination, you have to keep playing
Constantly, right?
playing. So something which we have to play throughout the year. But yeah, of course, we get a lot of rainfall also, during the summer. So there's a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
But we can play more tournaments actually. Yeah.
I think, yeah. Even for me, like I'm also very involved in sports, whether it's like associations or just like I said, just being a fan also
Yeah.
of sports. And my opinion, I just say it all the time, but like it's the grassroots level, right?
It's yes.
When we say grassroots, we're not just talking about like going to the village and all that, but even in cities like our main big cities, Dimapur, Kohima, and all that. It's from like our education system. We were just talking about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like when we were in school, if you play for your school team, and it's a big deal
Yeah.
for the school, for you also, and everything. And there's a pathway, right? Because you played well in school, you got
That's
selected
right,
to
yes.
under 16, under 19, and so on and so forth. And there's like a path that you can see also, and you can follow. Right now here we don't have that structure. like you said,
Yeah.
that sporting culture requires
Yes.
it to start at
So yes,
that level.
that's the main thing that we're lacking it. And in cricket, that's the main thing. I don't know about other sports.
I think it's in most sports.
Yeah, but what I've seen in cricket, the school, if the only the school can give more importance, to the sports. Giving the more exposures to the students of the school,
Right.
conducting more tournaments, school tournaments, participating more tournaments.
Right.
So that's how in any sports, that's how it'll grow from the grassroots level.
I mean, I don't know how much you're aware, but I'll just tell you from like what I know is that literally sports in Nagaland school system or our setup here is that you have just sports week. It's and some schools will have like inter-house
Yeah.
basketball. There's one called ANAPSA, All Nagaland Private School. They sometimes have it. It's sometimes cancelled, like the sports week and all that. So you don't have like a sports proper like policy or like
Yes.
structure or anything like that. So that I feel like that is what's needed. Like when the US model is like from school to college to like
Yes. Yes.
it's so
Yeah,
perfectly set
yeah.
up that like from when you're a teenager and if you have any potential or talent,
Yes.
some people scout you, then you're getting guided, mentored,
Yes,
coached, like
yes.
if you're blooming too late, like even if you're very talented, it's very unfortunate, but you won't be a
Absolutely.
yeah, you won't get that
Absolutely.
chance.
It's we have to somehow make a effort. Maybe the sports bodies can approach the schools and request the schools to to be more active, or to give more opportunities, participate in tournaments. We have to do something. We have to start off somewhere.
We have to I think it's
because
that
yeah,
important.
like you said, that is where it's you'll find ready-made talent, if this ready-made talent to the state level.
Yeah,
So,
I totally believe in that our people have the
yes,
talent
yes.
is there.
Talent is there,
Yeah.
but it's just that the opportunities, the exposures we have been getting it. So
I 100% believe that. And so it comes to also something that we discussed about. I really am curious to know about, like you said, you have no plans of retiring right now, no timeline set and all. But like in the future, that I'm sure you do plan also. Like one day when I hang up my bat,
yes.
gloves, I mean, like, this is what I want to do. So
Yes,
share a little bit
of
about,
course,
what,
I will love to open an academy for the young ones, for the youngsters. Whoever is representing Nagaland now, they learn cricket by watching TV. Right now, whoever is representing. So when you think about them, they have a lot of talent. It's just that
Very unfortunate.
they have
Yeah,
not
yeah,
been coached when it's at the right time. So if only I can have a good academy who I can guide the players, give them the proper, the techniques, the ways about cricket, then I'm not surprised if we can get a lot of players who can represent India.
I mean, I want that to happen also. I don't want you to retire early also. So I don't know what to say, but like that's such a nice thing. I think that is very important. We always tend to blame either like government or association and all, but sometimes just people like you or any other people also just need to step up and do things by themselves, even though it's not happening where it should be happening, right?
Yes.
If you can, I think you should do it.
Yes.
And I think, I mean, that'll be such a cool
Yes.
thing. And then, like I said, it's going to tie in because you going to England and you playing there, but at the same time making connections also. And that can be a network that you can send younger players, and that can be such a cool thing. Before I mean, we're wrapping up slowly, but I want to just talk about like your best memories, your best knocks, your best games. Just can you share some of those, like
My best. So many good memories, but most satisfying was when I was representing Nagaland, Ranji Trophy, against Bihar. I was the first from Northeast to score a double 100. So that was my
Yeah, that's
that was, one of the best feeling that I have, because if I had done that to maybe playing for Railways or Karnataka or whatever, I won't be feeling that kind of happiness or satisfaction.
yeah.
But for on state, having achieved, which I was very happy
That's
about.
that's a and you've had some like memorable knocks. Yeah, I mean, like when I said I seriously remember following you. I've watched some games when you were playing in KPL from those days also, and like on and off, because we don't get to see too much like Ranji Trophy and all that, right? But following your story when you went to England also, in England also, can you just I forgot to ask you this, but like explain to us the tier, because for those that don't understand the level of what Morecambe and Kendall cricket is.
Yeah, so
compared to
it's a Northern Premier League,
right.
and it is just below county cricket.
County cricket,
Yeah, so even the county cricket players, they come and play for the club. That's the club where they got picked for. After performing in the club, that label, they are picked for the county cricket.
County
So
cricket, yeah.
all those players, they also come and play the tournament. But
So it's basically like second division in England.
no, it's a first division. But
I mean in domestic cricket. I mean.
yeah, domestic cricket. Yeah. So that's the level. It's a good level of cricket,
Right.
and it was a good opportunity.
What was your best performance there in your 3 seasons? You scored a century there, right?
Yeah, I scored some.
You scored a couple actually.
A few centuries.
Yeah.
We won the second year that I played for Kendall. We won the championship. The Premier League, Northern Premier League Championship. After 27 years, the club has won the. So I don't see in cricket, if you score 100, if you score double 100, if your team doesn't win, or if your team doesn't win a tournament,
that's not
as
the
a
point.
player, you don't get that satisfaction. But if you score a crucial 14, win the game for the team,
that's much bigger.
That's more bigger. So that year was the most memorable, I should say. Yeah.
I mean, looking forward to seeing you, go back there, because I think that's such a good opportunity for you personally also. And even for people like us who are like sports fans, when we see fellow Nagas representing Nagaland, India, whatever, but abroad in any sport, whatever level it may be, it's a big deal. I mean, like I'm truly happy for you.
Thank you.
And also, it's a moment of pride for all of us also. Okay, so let's quickly touch on family, because you also are a young parent, and you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
Just share with us a little bit about your family.
Well, I have a 2-year-old son and a 1-month-old daughter. It's a blessing, thinking about it. You cannot describe the happiness you get watching them every day.
Yeah.
It's just no words. I just say no words. Absolutely no words.
I mean, I can totally get you. What I wanted to ask was, like, how do you balance this? Because your kind of work, like right now it's off season, so you do have time and all like that. But when it's like season time, I can understand like how hectic it must be for you, and you need. So like, how do you balance, especially family life? And
during tournaments, really heads off to my wife. Really very thankful to her that I sleep in a separate room, because I need a good sleep to give my best in the matches. And of course, she tries to take care of my kids by herself. So thanks to her. Yeah, it's really
not an easy job.
Not
I'm
an easy
sure
job
that's
at
like.
all,
And how do you like spending time with them? Like
I love it. Yeah, if you come after a tiring day playing incoming, kids running to you, and it's yes. I'm not saying it's all joyful in all that. Just tough also. Sometimes kids really mentally tired also. But just looking at them, you forget everything. All the tension that you have, and all the the problems that you have in life.
Yeah, it just goes away. Yeah, it just goes away. And I think these are like the most crucial years the first few years, right, of a kid's life is because they're 100% dependent on the parents.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yes.
not to say that later on they're not, but you know, it's
Yeah.
at this stage when they can't talk. Also, I mean,
Yeah.
they can't walk, and like, you know, you have to like,
Show them the world.
Yeah,
This is it,
yeah, and be like, you know, the real life heroes.
Yes.
Because everything they see
Yeah.
hear from us, you know, they emulate. And we're gonna get into one thing that since you know you had a family, a father, a family who obviously at once didn't accept your decision, but they were convinced slowly. So in a state where, like, you know, there's still I keep saying this, there's a slow change of parents who are now being more open to kids, their kids trying to be sports persons or musicians or different,
Yes.
you know, career choices which weren't so acceptable,
Yeah.
right? It's slowly changing, but I think even now there's still a big percentage or majority of the parents who are very like focused on you have to be this,
Yes,
you have to be
yes,
this.
yes.
So how would you sort of what is your opinion on that, and especially from your personal experience of
Yeah.
like, you know, your parents and your family accepting?
It's you know, it depends on how you show your talent to your parents, not to to your parents. You know, showing them that you are really interested in it, you're really committed to it, and you really have that talent in this whatever you're good at. So your parents are not fools. They're not you know, not going to deny anything that you're good at. If you really can convince, you have to show your hard work towards your talent. Show them your hard work. Show them your commitment. Show them you're that interested in that whatever the talent you have.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So then your parents, they're watching you every day. They know, this he's actually really into this, you know, in that. They'll think over. They'll have a second thought for sure. And that's where, you know, and from there, if you slowly can, you know, slowly can part the way out, they'll give you 100% support in it.
But at the same time, like for our state or like a place like ours, where even though say, like I keep saying, if you were, you know, if that situation wasn't there where you had shifted to Bangalore and just say you were continue
Yes.
to being brought up here, you would still have the same talent being you, like the same person, right? But maybe you wouldn't have had that opportunity to showcase also like your skills, you know,
No,
if you,
yeah, absolutely. But me being in Bangalore, I got the right coaching. You know, I got the right
That's what, yeah, exactly.
right facilities, right coaching. If I did have, if I was here, then cricket never would have been my option.
Exactly.
I could have been.
And
different
likewise,
else.
also, it's hard to also convince the parents when there is no opportunity.
No
also.
opportunity, that's absolutely
Even if
true.
I really
Yes,
want to become
yes,
a cricketer,
yes,
but
yes,
you know,
yes.
tournament in a school or like,
yeah.
you know what do you do then, right? So
Absolutely true.
it's not an easy thing, but
Yeah.
I think what would your okay? I'll leave that in the end. The message be for like, you know, the youth also or people who are aspiring to be sports, you know, sports persons. Okay, I'll let you give that message at the end. Um, Besides your academy, can you just tell us like what are you thinking about the future? Like obviously, after
Yeah.
say you finally retire, and
Well,
academy aside.
I apart from everything, I do run a small restaurant.
Okay.
It's in Chumugitima. It's
Okay.
in,
Why don't you tell us the name? We'll put it up.
Yes, please.
I wasn't aware of this.
It's I opened with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
It's the Kolkata Biryani.
Okay, okay. I didn't know that was yours.
So it's we took it to the second branch to Chumugitima. And it's just nearby outside our church, Chumugitima our church
Okay.
in the land. So yeah, if anyone's interested, can
The
come.
original, the first one is
First
in,
one is in Duncan.
Duncan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
near-
the Chumugitima, we have
when was that open?
it's been 6-7 months now.
Okay. Because I'm a fan of rolls and I heard the roll
Yes,
is good.
yes, yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
It's nice.
And what other things occupy your time? Like obviously now that you have kids and especially young kids, whatever free time I'm sure gets taken up by
Yes,
them.
yes.
But if not, you know, like if you were to have some free time, what do you like doing?
I
like,
will.
you know?
I would love to do some farming for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Farming is one of my
What's the reason behind that? Like, why?
no reason, just me, my profession takes a lot of me, like a lot of my physical, my mental, my time, everything. So my, I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but in my retired life, I would like to have a small house in somewhere in my outskirts, somewhere where I can plan something and have a good trip with my family, have a quiet time. So that is one of my.
I think that's like when you see that, that's like your perfect retirement
something like
scenario,
that.
na? Yeah. But besides being a very nice place to go with family and all that, I think farming is something that I've talked about it in the last episode also, and I think it's something that a lot of Nagas are slowly getting into, and I think more Nagas should get into.
Yeah, actually, I feel like a lot of Nagas don't know about
The potential,
the
right?
potential farming, the opportunities or whatever schemes that they can get.
Yeah,
They do not
yeah.
have any knowledge. So I feel if someone can only awareness, give them awareness about
Yeah.
all that, that'll be great.
I have a guest coming up for that because it's something that even I'm just getting into, and I think it's something that, like I said, like a lot of Nagas, more Nagas should get into it, and obviously it'll help if we have someone
Yes,
come
yes.
and talk about the
That'll
potential
be a
and
great help.
professionally,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. I want to give you this, like we wrap up with the message. So I told you earlier, the first two messages. One message is to your family or friends
Yes,
and
yes.
whoever, and second is to the Nagas. But since in your case you're a sports person, to maybe aspiring Naga sports persons. So you can look into this camera.
So, friends and family will be my wife. Thank you so much for whatever you're doing. Without you, I cannot do anything. My life is incomplete without you, and I love you, and I will always love you. And today, in the youth of our our own people, don't be scared in whatever dreams that you're trying to achieve. You never know what's on the other side of the door. So just try and open it. Just knock down the door. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. If you like it, if you have interested in it, just go for it. And if you work hard towards it, there'll always be a good result waiting for you. Yeah.
Okay, and that's a nice message. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking your time out. Like I said, if we didn't get this done now, I think we would have to postpone again and again, and who knows how long it would have taken. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope
Thank you.
you have
Yes.
like a long career and still like much more memorable moments, big knocks, team wins, everything, and eventually have the perfect retirement life that you're planning of. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Really loved it. Thank you.